Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now before we dive right into this reading, I want to say that during these chaotic times, this is a reading for love, light, and positivity to bring us up instead of pulling us down, which is there's more than enough to pull us down and to lower our energy vibration. So this is to really raise us up. Okay, with that said, let's get started. Let's dive in. I'm so excited about this moon. The full moon is in Libra. This is the best full moon for these chaotic times. It is all about balance. This Libra full moon restores compassion and balance to the world. So we can see a shift with it. We can see this power to it. Now what I'm going to be doing is moving your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot to really let the moon speak for herself and to help move us forward in a way that we see how emotionally we will be connecting with the moon. Okay? And let's see what the tarot has to say. I have the moon all laid out right here for us. Angel and spirit guide message for Virgo and how the April 2020 full moon will be affecting you. So how will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. At the heart of everything, we have the 5 of coins, crowned with the 2 of coins, the Knight of Wands, which is a fire sign energy, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius, the Chariot, which is a Cancer energy, a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd, the Queen of Swords, an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius is coming through. The Queen of Wands, so you have the Knight becoming the Queen. And this is, again, a fire sign energy, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius. 8 of Wands, things moving quickly. Page of Swords, so you have the Page becoming the Queen here. Have a progression. The 6 of Swords. And the Death card, which is a Scorpio energy, meaning that the full moon in May, which is in Scorpio, is going to be very powerful for you. This represents Scorpio in the major arcana, of course. Okay, so let's see here what these cards have to say. Actually, let's talk about this moon for just a moment. So this moon the full moon is always about power and a surrenderance to the divine. So as you embrace power, you surrender to the divine and you see yourself shining brightly. Now, why is this important to surrender to divine calling during this time? And this is because the Libra full moon aligns with the goddess Venus. And so the Venus energy, which is awesome because April is ruled by Mars. So Mars and Venus were lovers. In Roman mythology and in Greek mythology, Aphrodite and Aries, the Greek counterparts to Venus and Mars, are lovers. So here you have this energy that calls to each other. It's kind of like being called home, being called to someone who is, actually it's a little bit better. So it's, instead of just this place that is safe and secure, it is this person who is passionate and safe, secure, bountiful, beautiful, for you and to you. And so here, this really does have us focusing on relationships, balance, beauty, self-care, very important during this time. So during this time, there's going to be a sense of wanting to help every relationship, wanting to put everything in balance. And you have the power to kind of do so, but you can do so for everybody else at the expense of yourself, Virgo. So you're very selfless. You have this tendency to want to give and give and give until there is nothing left to give. So with you, Virgo, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to give to yourself first. And it's kind of like in an airplane when you're told, put the air mask on yourself and then put it on everybody else. So, or then put it on the person sitting next to you or the person who needs your help. So here, there's that sense of needing to balance the relationship within yourself and needing to balance to balance your emotional truth first before moving forward. And that is really going to help you embrace the loving, passionate, beautiful power of this moon. And then this moves us to trust and attraction. So what you are doing is you are attracting that for which you trust into your life. And here, this is the egg moon, which I think is so sweet. And I love the imagery of her in this little egg and this duck with the nest right there with her. So you are attracting to yourself what you trust, and you are also being taken care of by the universe, by this divine power. And as you are moving forward, there is this sense of this coming together. So I love it that it's the egg moon, it's also the pink moon, which is my favorite color. And so here there is this beauty that's calling you forward. And as you are embracing this beauty that calls you forward, you are attracting to yourself with the supermoon what you need, what you want, what is transcendent to you. Now, we've come out of a supermoon in last month, and then we are going into another supermoon in May, and we've come out of a supermoon before this. So I believe we have had 4 supermoons. And so here there is this sense of tremendous power being around you, Virgo. And as you're moving forward in this power of the supermoon, in the attraction of what is truly desired, it moves you to the full moon in Libra. And the full moon in Libra energy is this exquisite energy of balance, of the goddess Venus coming in, of, of seeing what is key. It's kind of like boiling things down to what you truly need and what you truly want. And as you do so, you clear out what is holding you back to move you forward. This is a time of it's a time of decluttering. There's a time of putting things in order. And so here with the full moon in Libra, it says a win-win outcome is forecast. It's kind of like everybody will be the winner. The scales will be balanced. Things will move forward in harmony. And then we have the supermoon, which says emotions are running high. Now, this is amplified for the fact that we are moving from winter to spring, of course, in the northern hemisphere, and from summer to fall in the southern hemisphere. And this amplifies emotions in and of itself, because there is going to be a feeling of frustration, because you're going to think, I need to get more things done. You see this change of seasons coming in, you really start to feel it in April, and it's kind of like, I need to get more done, I need to move forward. And with the restrictions on the world as they are right now, it's kind of going to be amplified. It's kind of like everybody's conspiring against me to have me, not be able to move forward the way that I want to. And here, there is that feeling that comes over, and it can lead to frustration, it can lead to a feeling of exhaustion, but it's also kind of like you're calling it out, and you're saying, you know what, no. Everything is happening for a reason. Nothing is by accident, and I am moving myself forward. It might not be in the way that I want to, it might not be in the way that I have envisioned for myself, but it is the way that this divine power is calling me to move. And by doing so, by claiming it like that, and by taking the chaos out of it, you are going to see yourself empowered, and you are going to see yourself on the path of winning. And as you embrace that path of winning, on April 22nd, you have the new moon coming in. And the new moon is in Taurus, so it's in an earth sign energy just as you. It brings forth beginnings, and this says prosperity lies ahead. Your prosperity, your bounty, your beauty lies ahead. And as you move so forward in this success, in this prosperity, in the bounty of the universe, the new moon says a new start is coming. There's a new phase to your life that is coming in. There's a new way that you are seeing things that is coming and that is leading you forward. And as you embrace this power and this truth, you find yourself transcending doubts and fears. You find yourself kind of walking through that portal to where you want to be, walking into that new life. I'm just kind of seeing Narnia here. When you walk through the closet into Narnia, or when the children in the book walk through the closet into Narnia, that's kind of what you're going to feel like. It's like, wow, I've discovered something brilliant. And I've discovered something that I've been searching for quite some time. And so here it is that magic, it is that mystery, it is that joyous connection. And then that leads us to the full moon in Scorpio. So in May, the full moon is in Scorpio, and it says a time to release the negativity. So in the decluttering of the Libra full moon, you are kind of gathering up everything that has been tipping the scales, that has been making life out of balance. And you're even going to see that relationships here, emotionally unbalanced relationships, kind of come into the forefront. And you might be like, okay, this is the last thing I need right now. Kind of step back, but you're going to see that it purges things. It kind of brings things to the forefront. So in the Scorpio moon, and I love this because Libra is followed by Scorpio in astrology. There we go. So here it has you blossoming forward. It has you, kind of following this pattern of Libra followed by Scorpio, and it becomes this harmony, okay, that you're really embracing, and it lets your music shine, it lets your light shine. And as you release the negativity, you enter into the blossoming of the flower moon, and you see yourself flowering, you see yourself becoming, you see yourself embracing. And as you embrace the power of your future, you move forward with the totem animals of the present. So in April, the totem animals of April are the hawk and the wolf spirit. And this is important because hawk is all about spiritual awakening, it's all about inspiration, it's all about vision and observation and heightened intuition. And then the wolf spirit is sharp intellect and strong instincts moving you forward. It's also working together, so you're going to find yourself able to kind of work in a pack very well, the people who are most near and dear to you. And with the hawk spirit, it says, let spirit be your guide. And the wolf spirit says, turn knowledge into power, because your intellect, because your instincts are so high. And both these animals are hunter animals, So here there is this sense of embracing the energy of Mars in April, embracing this kind of hunter spirit, embracing this. And I know it sounds funny to say you embrace the god of war, but it's like you embrace the sense of, this is my battle right now. This is a battle that I'm going through. It is not what I had planned. It is not what I expected, but I am doing my part, and I am moving myself forward, and I am calling on strength that I didn't know I had. And as you do so, you have the beaver spirit here, and the beaver spirit and it's actually the elk spirit are the totem animals for May, but I don't have an elk in my deck, so we have the antelope right here to kind of stand in and represent just a little bit. So the beaver spirit is all about ingenuity and persistence. It's all about laying that solid foundation. And as you are laying the solid foundation, because you have been so strong and so, kind of forceful in April, you have been so dedicated to self. You have the antelope spirit here that says the elk spirit, which is the totem animal, which says strength, stamina, endurance, and patience with relationships becomes yours. So then the antelope spirit says here, but life starts speeding up, and let life speed up, because you have that endurance of the elk spirit guiding you forward. And so I thought this fit in absolutely beautifully. And the elk spirit is one of the strongest totem animals that you can have, and it's a way that you're seeing things anew. And that's going to be very important to you, because at the heart of everything you have the Five of Cups, and it's feeling barred from true prosperity. And this depiction of it, and I love this deck because it depicts all kind of medieval, not all, but it depicts medieval and early Renaissance art, and that just sings to me. And I picked up this deck to actually go and take another deck of cards, and it just kind of just gave me chills, this deck. And so I was like, okay, I have to use this for you guys. So here with the Five of Coins, it's kind of almost feeling like a pauper. It can be feeling barred in, it can be feeling shut away, and it all can also feel as if your prosperity, your bounty, your beauty is shut away from you, and you're having to deal with things that you hadn't anticipated, which isn't that this time. I mean, schools have stopped, things have stopped. I got an alert on my phone that was like, everything is shut down, don't go outside. And I was like, oh, okay, it's scary and it's overwhelming. And we can easily feed that beast of being scared and being overwhelmed, which again lowers our energy vibration. And if you see right here, that person looks like a pauper, but the person behind him looks like riches. So here there is that sense of, yes, there's going to be this part of you that feels like, I can't do this, I can't move forward the way that I need to. Luckily, this is a 5 card. So 5s are the traumas that are being faced. You can kind of overcome them, not well, yeah, rather easily. Well, maybe not as easily as you would like them to be, but easily. And things start moving forward. It's about freedom, it's about independence, and it's about moving forward. And you have your angels right there with you. So, Virgo, you're going to be afraid that you can't move forward intellectually, personally, powerfully, the way that you want. And your angels and your spirit guides are saying, oh, yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here for you and I'm guiding you. So know that right here is that you're taking your knowledge and your intuition and you're moving forward. And really, you are that child right there, that child that this woman is cradling, because you are a child of divinity. You are a child of the angels, and you are moving forward, being protected and being guided. So there is this severe sense of protection and beauty that is around you. And then we have the Two of Coins. The Two of Coins is eternity of prosperity. It might not feel like it right now because there is a lot that you are balancing, a lot that you are taking in, a lot that you are understanding. But with the Page of Swords, an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius, you are definitely seeing yourself cut through doubts and fears. Now, this person can be a person who you work with tremendously well, or this can be a person who, kind of like pushes your buttons and makes you feel a little bit doubting of how you can move forward and the way that you want to be, but you're seeing balance come into play. You are also, I love this. What is this? A cow jumping over? So I love it in the Spirit Guide Animal cards. The cow says miracles are happening. So you are going to kind of feel miracles happening within your life. And it's not going to be something that you see. You'd really like to have proof of it. You'd really like to have concrete proof of it, but it's going to be happening kind of behind your back where this kind of cow flies, and you, as you're focusing on the butterfly right here, something extraordinary is going to happen. So be prepared for that. As you're focusing on one thing, something else happens that really does bring forth a miracle, and it brings forth a balance. It brings forth a sense of purpose, a sense of power, a sense of prosperity, and that prosperity is balanced between the earthly plane and the spiritual realm. And as you see this balance, you are a student of your intellect, okay? You are a student of your mind. You're looking at things anew. You cut through doubts and fears. And during this time, you're really going to feel much more comfortable behind the scenes with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, with your passion and with your intellect, your clear thinking, your insight. You're going to feel very comfortable. And there's, oh my goodness, there's that butterfly again. You're going to feel yourself transformed, but it's going to be happening behind the scenes. So everybody is not going to be taking note of it, which can be a little bit frustrating because you do want people to see the change that is guiding you forward, the change that is leading you. And with the Queen of Swords, you cut through doubts and fears. You know where it is that you stand. You know what it is that you stand for. And again, it can be an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius, that's really helping you during this time. It can be in a very positive way. It can be in kind of a negative way, like I'll show them. But there is this energy around you that, yes, your intellect is heightened. Yes, your way of seeing things, perceiving things is, much more intense. And there is the sense that as you cut through doubts and fears, you know how it is that you're evolving. But you also see that there are multifaceted layers to your development, meaning that, yes, there's the beauty of the butterfly. There is that jewel-like state. But there's also the seated underbelly that you're looking at, kind of the balancing of emotional truths within yourself. And it's kind of like the part of ourselves that we would love to be all the time, that perfect, put together, never gets angry, never gets frustrated person. And then we have the other side of ourselves, which gets frustrated, which gets snippy, which can be overwhelmed, which gets tired. And so here, it's kind of like you're coming to terms with two sides of you, and also two sides of people. And there's no more, there's no better time for this to be coming out than when you're in kind of lockdown with each other. So here, it can be that this is becoming much more relevant within life, but also it's becoming much more relevant within your insight for yourself, because you are connecting with your mind so much, and you are connecting with what you truly need to move forward. And this leads to a death. And it doesn't mean an actual death at all. I mean, not at all. It means a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, and leads to the death card, which is a Scorpio energy, a time frame of October 23rd to November 21st, and it is also the new moon, not the new moon, but the full moon in May. It leads you to knowing your mind in April and being reborn in May. Powerful, succinct, kind of looking at things and really getting to the heart of the matter. And I love this depiction right here because there's such a sense of purity, and she has the white lilies there. And it's funny because the full moon and the new moon are represented by the color white. And white stands for purity. It is purity and protection. So that's what this full moon and new moon is offering us. It's offering us purity, it's offering us protection, and it's bringing us towards happiness. Now in May, the color that represents the moon is green. It brings forth money, it brings forth growth, fertility, which leads us to empowerment. And really, we're seeing you embracing this empowerment, embracing this beauty, embracing this transformation, going from kind of, well, isn't white, if you break it down, all the colors, so it becomes white. That's the way we see it. It's kind of like green is every color but green. At least that's the way I remember it from science class back a long, long time ago. So I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of like those things become our focus. And they're the things that we need to call to ourselves because there seems to be an absence of them at times. But just know that during this time, you are purely protected by your angels. They are guiding you forward. It's at your roots. And you are seeing yourself transformed. And as you are transformed, as you know your mind, and why is it important to know our mind? Okay, so the way I see us is I see us as emotional beings. And people see us as intellectual beings, people see us as transcendent of emotions and intellect to become something more, and that's totally cool. I myself see us as emotional beings. I see us as our heart, meaning the most, because for me, it is the most powerful guiding force. And so with the mind is coming into harmony with the heart, because you can't be purely intellectual. You're going to try to be purely intellectual. You're going to try and sit there and say, this is logical, this is reasonable, this is how I'm going to move forward, this is how it needs to be, succinct, planned out, roadmapped. Okay, great. But you're going to see that if you do that for any extended period of time, Virgo, you're going to start to feel run down. You're going to start to feel disconnected. And so looking at your mind and saying, okay, why am I embracing rigidity? Because your heart is saying, embrace love, embrace beauty, embrace power. See what your heart, see what your emotions are saying, because they might be just simply scared and overwhelmed, and this is too much, so you're trying to hold on. And this is where meditation is going to come in. This is where that balancing of the scales comes. Okay, it can be sitting outside. If you can sit outside during this full moon, that would be something absolutely beautiful to do. Just let that light come over you. Let that silvery, beautiful light come over you. Let it be the reflection of the sun, the reflection of our passions and our desires, centering us, building us forward, moving us forward. Okay, because during this time, we are a reflection of a sun. We are the reflection of the sun. And as we reflect the sun, we reflect our passion, we reflect our power, we reflect our purpose, and we move ourselves forward. And this is what we see with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, all right? But the Queen of Wands is also saying this is our passion leading us forward. You can be having an absolute great time with a fire sign energy, but since all these people right here, fire sign, air sign, and the water sign of Cancer are all connected to the Five of Coins. These people can all be kind of making you feel small, making you feel overwhelmed, calling you to something greater, but you're not going to be a follower. I mean, Virgo, you're not a follower. You need to step into things in your own time and in your own way. So here, you can have a lot of people saying, oh, I want you to be like this, or oh, I want you to do that, and oh, you should be doing this. You need to step back. You need to step into your light, because your intellect, your passion, and your heart are going to guide you. And you need to listen to those. Right? So here, it is, again, being more behind the scenes. I see queens as directors behind the scenes instead of the actors upon the stage. Embracing your passion, embracing your creativity, embracing, what you want from your life. Wants for me are what we want from our lives, what we want to create. And that leads you to the Chariot, that leads you to moving forward in a way that is stunning. And you have the what you have the white swan and the black swan, which very much makes me think of, what is it, the children of Lear in Irish, I believe it's Irish mythology, or in Celtic mythology. We could just, kind of do that big over blanket. But here it is, what you see isn't truly what is there. And as you're being guided forward by your heart, you're being guided forward by a force and by a power that is so much more than it seems to be at first sight. And as you are embracing this passion, this power, this purpose, and this is a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd, you see new things, but also you see that your heart and also the determination of this Cancer energy is so much more than you give them credit for, because Cancers are people of the heart, right? And so they can be kind of underestimated, but once a Cancer kind of puts in their heels, that's where they stand. That's what they stand for. And there's something here, Virgo, that you are putting in your heels towards your passion, towards your desire, towards this rebirth of self and soul that has you moving forward towards something that you hadn't anticipated, but that is highly profound and beneficial for you. Moving forward mentally towards where you want to be, being cradled by your angels, has you reborn, has you embracing this rebirth. And as you do so, the Eight of Wands shows everything changing. Everything is changing for you. It starts to speed up. It starts to change. And as it does so, you are embracing this movement. You are seeing yourself moving forward towards your passion, towards your desire, towards what you want. You can be told, oh, you need to move this way, you need to move that way. And it can be being egged on by a fire sign energy in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But it is really saying here, take the reins, Virgo, and lead yourself forward. Okay? Find the balance within yourself and keep on going, because that's going to be the game changer. And it is going to be what cuts through doubts and fears and brings miracles into your life and moves you to places that you hadn't anticipated. So let's see what your Moonology cards have to say. How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Strong Scorpio energy. Absolutely. How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? How will Virgo be affected by the April 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. Yeah, there is abundance that is being called into your life. There is this sense of power, and that's where you are really going to be kind of like taking your stance, because you're balancing the scales, you're embracing your truths, you are seeing the truths within relationships, within yourself, and you are being much more confident within the way that you are moving forward. And there is this sense of kind of, you have this tendency to want to sacrifice yourself for everybody else. It's kind of like, oh, I'll suffer. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very noble way. It's kind of like, I will take on this responsibility and I will go through the hardship so that you can thrive. And during this time, you're going to see a shift in a why. In a why. Why am I keeping you from learning these lessons? Why am I, stepping back from my power? Why aren't I letting myself move forward the way that I want to? And this moon is balancing the scales within you, and it calls forth an abundance. And as it calls forth an abundance, it leads you out of a place of darkness and of feeling alone. And it brings you to the blue moon, which says, believe in the impossible. Because with your angels cradling you, leading you forward, the impossible becomes possible. within your mind, within your reasoning, within yourself. It can be that you've been looking at things and you've been seeing things a very certain way. It's like, oh, okay, everything has to be like A or like B. And now you're starting to see, well, why can't I? Why can't I, embrace my bounty and my beauty? Why can't I move forward in abundance and in joy? Why can't I, take this hobby and make it into a career? Why can't I start things up? Why can't I? And it's like, why not? And it may not be your only career. You might find yourself juggling things because we have this here. We have discernment with the juggling of prosperity. Now, this could mean having 2 jobs. Now, I do know that this is kind of like during this time with everybody being furloughed and everything happening, you might sit there and say, Dane, I would like just 1 job. Thank you very much. But it can be that you're starting to kind of branch out. You're seeing eternal prosperity for you. And you're seeing different ways. And you're being discerning. You're kind of like, your mind is blown by the power of this moon. And you're like, oh, okay. Okay, I can try this. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And as you go for it, you start to see things in a new way, in a new light, in a new power. And it's like, oh, I didn't think that. Like, I thought that was for somebody else, not for me. And what I see is kind of like your angels and your spirit guides saying, why not you? Why not you? Why everybody else, but why not you? You'd be more than willing to say, oh yeah, that was perfectly great for this person. Oh, that was perfectly awesome for that person. But why not you? This leads you to the first quarter moon, which says your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to yourself. Your commitment to the belief in miracles. Your commitment to knowing your mind and being a student of what you desire. Because it's happening out of your sight. You're not seeing it. So you're being tested. And it leads you to darkness. Now, darkness is not bad. I like the dark very much. And it leads you to a sense of stepping into magic. Because we have this rabbit right here, the hare. And the rabbit very much shows a connection to magic. And magic, I see, as very much the connection to the God's head within us. Brahma said, he hid the God's head within man, because that is the one place we would not look. And in all teachings, everywhere, it is always within that we forget to look, where it should be the first place that we look. So the darkness comes, the quiet comes. And it can even be, this isolation can bring darkness, it can bring doubts, it can bring fears, it can bring being overwhelmed. So you look at the darkness, and then you start to see your light, your truth, the reflection of your sun. And it moves you forward in knowledge and power. In being behind the scenes, yes, but being dedicated to the beauty that you are moving forward in. And saying, yes, there is going to be that underbelly. There is going to be the darker side of things. But I am not going to let that stop me. It is actually going to add to the richness of what I see. And as you do so, the waxing moon says energy is gaining momentum. As you are reborn, the energy of change, the energy of balance, it can even be at times the energy of exhaustion. You might sit there, and I know me personally right now, I'm feeling that energy of exhaustion hitting me like a bowling ball. So here, it can be that you're feeling that too. And it's like, what the heck's going on? So there's a sense of needing to power through, to be reborn, to move yourself forward, to be heightened in your power and in your purpose, because it brings you to gratitude. It brings you to the gratitude of passion, of creativity, of the blessings of the ages that are coming forward. It is also really here that your ancestors want you to succeed. It's kind of like there is a line, and it can be your ancestors, it can be your past you, your present you, your future you, however you want to see it, are saying it's time to embrace success. It's time to embrace passion. It's time to embrace beauty. It's time to sit there and say, this is what I'm creating. And it can be that this is what I was afraid to create. I was held back. And now, why? Why be held back anymore? Why not look at things and say, life is short? You can have a pandemic thrown at you, like all of a sudden, and be like, what the heck? Go after it. Go after it. Start planning. Start looking. Start seeing what you want. And it leads you to the full moon in Sagittarius. to look at the bigger picture and see yourself moving forward in love. See that things aren't always exactly what they seem. Sometimes they are so much more. And it leads you to believing in the impossible. It leads you to embracing this energy and knowing that it's gaining momentum. And then you are nourishing yourself. And you're seeing things change. So as you nourish yourself, as you feed the harvest of your soul, things start to change. Things start to build. And as they build, they bring you to the new moon in Scorpio. Now the Scorpio energy is very powerful for you, so May will be an intense time. And it says work through your fears as you move forward. Work through what has been holding you back, because now it is time to move forward. And as you move forward, you commit. Your commitment is being tested, but you commit to a bigger test, kind of like a bigger thing. That's what I'm seeing here. And then you believe in the impossible. Can you go after your dreams? It's kind of like a double dog dare. Like when you're little, oh, I double dog dare you to do that. Can you? And it's like, yeah, hell yes, actually, definitely can. I definitely can embrace what I need and what I want. And it's not a time for sacrificing for everybody else. It is a time of saying, I deserve to have the face mask on too. I deserve, when the helicopter or the plane is going down, I deserve to be able to breathe, to be able to move forward. And it is time to embrace that energy of, I need that balance of relationship within myself to move me towards my greatness, my power, my purpose. Your subconscious message is the Hangman. You're seeing things very differently now than you have before. And as you see things differently, the Queen of the Moon card says, you see a new path opening up. And it's a new path that you hadn't expected. And I would say that this comes around the 22nd. Okay? Yeah, with the new moon, a new path, a new portal, a new way of moving forward. Ideas coming together that you didn't think of, that you didn't think kind of meshed. And then it leads you to the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. The answers come. They might come in a bit of a riddle. They might be they might have a beautiful duality to them, but the answers you need are coming, and they are leading you forward. Yeah, they might speak to the two natures of yourself. All right, Virgo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. I hope that you are staying safe. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. And I wish you an absolutely blessed moon. I love you all. Bye.